Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Money Conversations with Magical. In my previous video on the money market, I was talking about the issue of compounding. There are two types of calculations on interest. This is the simple interest, and there is compounding interest. So today I'd like us to explore the magic of compound interest and how you can use it to achieve your financial goals. So what is simple interest? Simple interest is a kind of interest calculation whereby interest is calculated only on your principal amount. So it's a very straightforward kind of a calculation whereby the interest is a function of the principal amount, the rate, that is the interest rate, and the time period that you're investing. So for instance, if you take a case scenario of someone investing 100,000 Kenya shillings and they are earning simple interest, the straightforward formula for that is principal times rate times time. So thereby it means you take the 100,000 times the rate, which is 10%, times time. So if you do that calculation, you will get an interest of 50,000 for 5 years. So you're taking a principal of 100,000 at a rate of 10% for 5 years. So that quickly gives you 50,000. So it's a very linear kind of a conversation or a calculation. But now today I'd like us to understand how we can leverage on compound interest, which is a kind of interest calculation whereby interest is calculated on your principal as well as the interest accrued over time. So it's then kind of a calculation that gives you a very exponential return because the interest is also earning interest, and therefore then gives you what that effect called a snowball effect. So for people who have seen how ice goes down the mountain, it starts as a small ball, and as it rolls down the hill, down the mountain, it collects other smaller ice, and it becomes a big ball of ice. So that's the small snowball effect that I can use to explain compound interest. So what is the formula then for calculating compound interest? Is what you do is you take the rate that you're earning and you divide that rate by the number of times the compounding is done. Once you do that, you add 1. After you've done that, then you raise that to the power of the number of times the compounding is done times the period, and then with that you multiply with the principal, so you can be able to then get the value of the interest you've earned. So in short, it's you I don't know if you can see this, but this is I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's basically the future value of your money will be, so this is the formula, P, then into bracket 1 plus R which is for rate, divide by N. N is the number of times the compounding is done. Then you close the bracket. Then you raise that to the power of NT. N for the number of times the period or the time that money is being invested. So if we go back to our example using 100,000 for 5 years at an interest rate of 10%, if you do the same calculation using the simple formula I've given you with the same amount of money, then you will have earned 61,051 shillings. So you can see the difference. The person who was earning from simple interest in 5 years from 100,000 was able to make an interest of 50,000. But the person earning through compound interest was able to make 61,051. So you can imagine if you do this over time, over the years, and also if you do it consistently and maybe with more money and over, you're able to see a very big quantum on the growth of your money. So what are some of the benefits of compound interest? Compound interest is good because of that element of exponential growth. Your money is able to grow exponentially as opposed to growing linearly, as in the case of simple interest. You're also able to achieve your long-term goals through compound interest because of that element of consistency. The other thing is that then compound interest is able to give you passive income. Remember, the interest is earning interest. It actually means that your money is working very hard for you. So that element of passive income is also a key advantage for compound interest. And so what are the tips for you to capitalize in compound interest? The first thing is that you need to start as early as possible. Because when you start early, you're able to see over the years, over time, you're able to see this growth. The other thing is that you need to remain consistent. Don't do it once and stop. I've seen some people who maybe start putting the money in the money market funds and they put in 5,000 once and they stop, or they put in 10,000 twice and they stop. With that kind of an investment or saving, you're not able to really feel the effect of compounding interest. So you need to be consistent. Okay? The other thing is that you need to leave your money to grow. Leave it for the long term. Let it not be money you put in today and then tomorrow you pick it. Yes, but then you can pick it because you have a need or an emergency, but then you will not really benefit or feel that effect of compound interest. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I've said before in my videos on the money market fund, compound interest, just as Albert Einstein said, is the eighth wonder of the world. So by understanding how it works and how you can strategize to make use of it, you are able to earn passive income and achieve your financial goals. Thank you so much for listening into this video. I recommend that you subscribe if you've not, so that you don't miss the future insights on financial matters. Thank you.